Cutting tools. Learning objectives. At the end of this presentation, students should be able to describe various types of saws that are generally used for furniture making and differentiate among saws that are used to make various cuts on timber materials. Cutting tools. In this case, let's look at the saws. Let's begin with the tenon saw, or what is known as back saw. This is a mid-sized back saw that is used to cut tenons. Now, tenon saws are typically 250 millimeters to 300 millimeters in length. Teeth of the saw are relatively fine, with 10 to 15 teeth per inch, or what is known as TPI. Parts of a tenon saw. As we can see, we have the blade, we have the teeth, we have the length of the saw, we have the handle. And important is the brass or steel back that is used to stiffen the blade and to provide sufficient weight to cut, so you are able to saw more accurately with that brass or steel back which stiffens the blade. Now, as the diagrams illustrate, we can see the correct position to clamp a piece of stock when cutting tenons using the tenon saw. Now let's turn our attention to the dovetail saw. This saw is similar to a tenon saw but shorter in length and are manufactured at lengths of 150 millimeters to 250 millimeters. The saw has 14 to 20 teeth per inch and is used for finer work such as cutting the pins and sockets of dovetail joints. Now, as this diagram shows, we can see how the dovetail joint is being cut by using the dovetail saw to determine the pins and sockets. The fancy back saw. This variation of the back saw is typically 150 millimeters to 200 millimeters in length. It has 16 to 25 TPI and is used for very fine cutting of moldings. The coping saw. Coping saws are a type of frame saw used to cut shapes out of timber and plastics. The saw is so called because of its use in coping or scribing the end of a length of molding to make it fit against another. The diagram shows you how the coping saw is cut in moldings and variations in terms of the shape of the coping saw. Now, coping saws are used for cutting curves in timber or manufactured board less than 1 inch thick. It has 15 teeth per inch or 15 TPI. And you can see the coping saw in the diagram on the left cutting a circle and also cutting irregular curves in the diagram on the right. This is the conclusion of this presentation, and these are my references. Thank you.